undermined the Iran deal that was the one thing keeping Iran from actually going forward with a nuclear program. Tom Cotton led that one of Arkansas. What do you make of this now threat, not just to potentially prosecute private citizens who Donald Trump doesn't like, but to potentially prosecute FBI officials and to investigate the people who tried to protect this country from a Russian attack?
So leaving aside the hypocrisy in the Republican position for the moment, because if we talked about hypocrisy in the Republican Party, we'd be here for all eternity. Let's just focus and be very clear about the legal issue here. This notion that the president can direct the Justice Department and the criminal justice apparatus to prosecute, to investigate people he thinks are his political enemies. That is the hallmark, as you correctly point out, of a banana republic. That's the entire reason that the Founding Fathers were careful with the Constitution to make sure that American citizens wouldn't be subject to the whims of kings and queens, as the Founding Fathers had been, who could use criminal process to take out their enemies. The fact that the president is doing this is frightening. It's dangerous. It's a sign that there are no more guardrails for democracy. The Republican Party should be standing up. It's not a political issue. It's not a partisan issue. It's an issue about how the Constitution functions. And they will regret if they do not stand up, because it will be very difficult to walk back from this quote-unquote new normal in America, where the president can decide to prosecute his enemies.
Yeah, and Glenn, you have now the Senate Republicans, Lindsey Graham leading that charge, seeking documents in the probe of the Russia investigation's origins, and Carter Page. Carter Page, who got his FISA warrants renewed over and over and over again, including by Rod Rosenstein. Lindsey Graham sent letters on Friday to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on the Justice Department requesting documents and communications. They want to now go after Christopher Steele. They want to go after everyone who tried to uncover what Russia is doing. Your thoughts, Glenn?
Yeah, Joy, so Lindsey Graham is now basically leading the lock her up chant, and he's including lock up Obama-era DOJ officials who initiated this investigation into how Russia was trying to interfere in our election. The chilling effect that that might have moving forward, Joy, think about it. If I'm now a DOJ employee, an FBI agent, or a prosecutor, and I'm told, listen, it looks like, for example, North Korea is trying to cyber attack our country and interfere with our upcoming elections, and you catch that assignment, are you going to have in the back of your head, if I do this, I may get attacked by a future administration for doing the wrong thing, not the right thing to protect the country? And, you know, Lindsey Graham now going after these people, I think is it's dangerous. It's dangerous to our system, and it's a perversion of what the Department of Justice is supposed to be about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Malcolm Nance, one wishes that people had had such temerity and fear of future prosecution when, I don't know, during the Bush era, we were torturing people in our custody in Iraq, et cetera, and, you know, starving people in Guantanamo. But now you do have this situation. James Baker, who used to be the FBI general counsel, was on with Rachel Maddow last night and literally said that he's heard rumors that that chilling effect Glenn just talked about is already happening. What kind of an effect does that then have on our national security if people are afraid to actually do that, to actually try to protect our national security because they're afraid of Donald Trump and they're afraid of William Barr?
Well, if you remember in the Bush era, when they were actually torturing people, as you said, they were waterboarding people, they were abusing people. We had murders. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump just pardoned an Army officer who was tried in military courts and convicted of murder. He literally kidnapped a prisoner, took him out and shot him to death. So these are now where the White House is giving them a green light. And they are greenlighting actual offenses that are being done by people who support their side. But the chilling effect, as you say, is coming from they're going to investigate anyone that outs these terrible, offensive things that come from the other side or that comes from the government bureaucracy. People will not be able to function. This government will come to a standstill. And I suspect that's what he wants. He wants people within the government to only do what